MLB Network misremembers Thursday at 9 Eastern.
One Tiger rookie will always be young. Whitaker's a strong candidate for American League Rookie of the Year honor. But he lacks in power. He makes up in speed.
Live my life A to Z, fill up all the vacancies. Feel the vindication from the hate you get for chasing dreams. I'm Major League with or without any cosign.
Here he is, the big leagues. They got to be in love with this young man.
That's why I'm feeling how I'm feeling now.
Tyler coming hard.
Line ball deep in the right field by Noakes. And this one is gone.
What a season for this young man right here, Austin Jackson. Probably the American League Rookie of the Year.
This year, the Tigers' 15-game winner, Dave Roseman, who grabbed the honor.
Verlander, not only with his first complete game, his first shutout.
Rick Porcello.
This young man is performing at a high level at the big league level.
He is some kind of unbelievable young Mark figure.
Oh, the bird. They ended with the bird. That was a glorious 1976. Some notable rookie seasons for the Tigers. Don't look at me blankly, Ken. You were around for that. You weren't you?
Yes, I was around.
Yeah, you were around for that. You were a kid, but you were watching it, right?
Absolutely loved the
Lou
bird.
Whitaker, who he advocated for the Hall of Fame, way above the line for the Hall of Fame, and Willie Horton, Norm Cass, and more recently, still with this club, Justin Verlander. That was then looking at some possible notable rookies this year for the Detroit Tigers, and they're in a strange spot. They've got veterans, they even loaded up with more veterans, and yet got some good young players. Michael Fulmer, Bo Burrows, Christian Stewart, Jacoby Jones, Derek Hill. You see some of the others there. We're going to start with Michael Fulmer, came over in the deal for Yoenis Cespedes from the Mets. We welcome in right now Paul Sporer of Fangraphs and author of the Starting Pitcher Guide. Paul, it's good to have you on the show. Let's jump right in. How good is Michael Fulmer, the guy they got in the Yoenis Cespedes deal?
It looks like it can be really good, Brian. He came over in Cespedes deal, as you mentioned. He's a big power arm, which the Tigers have always loved. He works 91, 93, but he's got mid-90s in his back pocket, even upwards of 96, 97. That's going to work really well for the Tigers. He's also got a swing-and-miss slider, which really helped him get that strikeout per inning that he had across two AA levels this year with the Mets and the Tigers. The changeup is a work in progress, but that's kind of the same story for a lot of young pitchers, but he does have the feel for it. So I think Fulmer can definitely be mid-rotation, possibly even more.
Paul, you remember with Dave Dombrowski, you just mentioned this. They love power arms, and he made it his mission before leaving the team or getting fired by the team to get some more of those arms into the equation. Fulmer was one, Norris, Boyd, etc. Where do you see them right now in terms of their depth, rotation depth, including the younger arms?
I mean, it's still a system that is not great. I think Dombrowski did a great job to kind of stock it on the way out. You know, they moved up in the Baseball America rankings from about 30th to 26th. But, you know, that's a jump, and it's a small jump in the span of a few months. They're still in their window, though. Despite finishing last place, this is a team that's still going for it. So you have to understand that, you know, they kind of got their foot in both sides, being that it's an aging roster. But I think the players that they've gotten recently in the for the prospects have really jumped up for them, and I think that they're still going to have some guys that can contribute this year.
Hey, Paul, it's Dan Plesac. One guy I want to touch on, Daniel Norris, acquired him last year in August in a trade. He had a little bout of some thyroid cancer, had surgery. Is he going to be ready for spring training?
It's looking like he will be ready, Dan. He's not technically a prospect anymore. He utilized all of his rookie eligibility this year. But when you're looking at the scope of the Tigers, you still consider him a prospect. A 23-year-old lefty, has good velocity, has 4 pitches, 3 different secondary pitches that he uses 10% of the time or more. So I think he's another guy who really looks like he could be a mid-rotation guy with more. Had that thyroid cancer like you mentioned, but everything's supposed to be on track. He should be ready to go for spring training, competing for a rotation spot.
Paul, Kenny mentioned just a second ago Dave Dombrowski, so forgive me because I'm a Boston guy, which means I have a microscopic view of the world. what is Dombrowski's legacy there now? Because, again, you just mentioned farm system ranked 30th up to 26th. How do people look at Dombrowski now that he is gone?
I mean, they didn't get the World Series title, but he has to be looked at as a winner. He brought this team back from the depths. They were the Pirates before the Pirates were the Pirates, because it was a team that they were off the map every single year. As a Tigers fan in my childhood, they were never going to win. And then all of a sudden 2006 happens, and Dombrowski did a great job of utilizing the prospects to make that team better, to keep the window open. You know, I think he made some deals that disappointed folks, giving away big prospects, but that's how you compete. It'd be nice to be a Boston where you kind of have the great system and the competing team. Same with the Cubs right now. But that wasn't the case for Detroit. They kind of had to choose one or the other. And I think Dombrowski wisely utilized the prospects to make it a great team. Let's be mindful that Miguel Cabrera never comes to Detroit if they don't trade Andrew Miller and Cameron Maybin, who at the time were the elite prospects. They did not pan out the way like a Chris Bryant, Mike Trout, the guys we're seeing today, but they were those players of their time, and that's how you get a Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, well put. No, he was a very successful executive there. Paul, by the way, I could have really used your last segment. As a member of the intelligentsia, they're breaking out the great man theory on President's Day. When the great man strides the hill, everyone is imbued with confidence. Help me, Paul. Help me.
Wasn't David Price on the Tigers last year and they finished last? I mean, what trickle down was he giving? I don't know if David Price had anything to rub on Anibal Sanchez's shoulder.
Nice. Just not in Detroit.
Toronto was over great, though.
Paul, congratulations. You're going to have an endowed chair on the show starting next week.
Well put, Paul. Have you back here anytime. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Shot at you. That was nice. Paul, thank you for Paul Sporer. You can read his fine stuff on Fangraphs, of course. Hey, time to think baseball. And we're asking you.